Come on in. Come on in. We are live on the tube. Are we going to have a chat? Let's see. Grab your tea, grab your drinks, get comfy and cozy. Remember, this channel is for commentary and entertainment only. What do we got here? Greetings to the saga lovers. Welcome to the lovely Tuesday. Today it's a special Tuesday because today it's about Canada for Premier Pierre Poilievre 2025. Let me tell you, there was a massive rally. It was huge. And we're going to have lots of fun watching it together. Let me know if you can hear me. Testing. All right, so I'm going to share my screen all here. Let's go. Bring it home. Bring it home. Are we going to bring it home, Canada? Well, I'm just going to say, I do sincerely believe we are going to bring it home. That was a nice tea. I do feel the energy here. It is getting crazy. And then here we go. We got proof. So with these proof, let's get out of here. Bring it home. This is that my let me go find my here. Not only bring it home, but what do we got here? The best part of coming home to Alberta is getting to see Mom. Pierre said, "Love you so much." Oh, we love you too, Mom. Look at that. That is his mama. That is a nice picture. Let's make it big. Look at that. Love you so much. Oh, for sure. Love is here. Oh, let me put a capital L for that. Mama. Hey. What a wonderful lady. Now we see where he gets to look, eh? That is mom, adopted mom. But still the looks. Here we go. So this was the beginning of the movement. Our home, and things are changing. 43 minutes ago, he was posting this. Let's see. I'm going to check on the volume. Hopefully you can hear the volume and check it here.
So, you feel good?
I am.
You got a good crowd.
It's an understatement.
It's our home. Look at that. Unbelievable. It's our home. That was amazing. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get copyrighted on this, but probably yes. Let's just finish it. Wow, we needed this. We needed this. We needed this. Wow, wow, wow. Let's get out of here. What do we got here?
Crowd. Thank
The
you,
special
Edmonton.
guest.
Wow, what a fantastic crowd.
The
Thank you,
special
Edmonton.
guest. Thank you,
Thank you for being here.
Edmonton.
Thank you for making yourself
Let's
a
enjoy this.
positive
Okay,
part
guys.
of the most important decision that this country is going to make in decades. Canada right now needs change more desperately than it perhaps
Ever before. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Let's make this a big change. We have lost hope, but guess what? We found it back. It's just hiding. It wasn't gone.
ever has. And it needs
Let's
someone
enjoy
to
this.
lead that change, my
Thank you,
friends.
CPAC.
As someone who had the honor of serving as your Prime Minister, I know.
Oh, we gotta clap. Come on. Come
I
on.
know that being Prime Minister is a trust. It is
Big
a trust to
trust.
take this incredible country
Huge.
that our ancestors bequeathed us and to leave it stronger, more united, more compassionate, and more confident than we found it. That's what we did, my friends. But that is not the story of the past decade, and that has got to change for Canada.
Big time. Oh, and it's changing. Edmonton is in the house. Edmonton.
Chers amis,
Kudos.
je me trouve dans une position unique
Très
pendant
unique.
cette campagne. Je suis la seule personne pour qui les deux candidats au poste de Premier ministre ont travaillé.
Eh oui.
Et mon choix sans équivoque
Équivoque.
Pierre Poilievre.
C'est Pierre Poilievre. Merci.
You know, friends, I am in a unique position in this federal election.
Very unique. Sir.
I am the only person who can say that both of the men running to be Prime Minister once worked for me.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. The
And
boss.
in that regard, my choice, without hesitation, without equivocation, without a shadow of a doubt, is Pierre Poilievre.
Unbelievable. You know what? I think this speech was and is historical. So very important to watch it and hear it. And like he said, they were both under him. And Harper knows very well every man's intentions. And then we have Carney with lots of scandals. Let's go, Mr. Harper.
I have known Pierre Poilievre for a quarter of a century. Since he was a very young man, the first time I met him, I could see that he was smart, articulate, possessing tremendous passion for our country and strong convictions about sound public policy.
Indeed.
In 2004, during the time of my leadership, Pierre's parliamentary career began. He went progressively from a backbench MP to a parliamentary secretary, to a junior cabinet minister, to a senior cabinet minister, and of course,
yes,
to party leader.
The party leader. He did everything.
In all of those roles, he worked, he fought, and he learned.
And he learned.
Because it is not just that Pierre excelled in all of those roles. In all of them, he grew. He got better and better.
And better. And better.
Friends,
Pay
don't
attention.
let anyone tell you that he was born to be prime minister.
No way.
Or that he can just somehow parachute into the job fully prepared.
Fully prepared.
Political experience, elected, accountable political experience, and the capacity for growth with that political experience, that is what Pierre has demonstrated for 2 decades, and that is the single most important characteristic a prime minister needs.
Yeah.
And by the way, I say that as the guy who actually did lead Canada through the global financial crisis.
The lies that we've been told by the media, eh? Paying
I hear
attention.
there's someone else claiming it was him.
Claiming.
It was, of course, our government. The late, great Jim Flaherty. And our conservative team who were responsible for the day-to-day macroeconomic management during that challenging time. And friends, it's no secret that our country faces today another historically challenging time in the form of the Trump administration. There is no sugarcoating that. But the bulk of the problems that afflict our country, falling living standards, declining employment and housing opportunities, rising crime, the growing divisions between our regions and our people, these were not created by Donald Trump. They were...
That's the truth. He's always the scapegoat.
They were created by the policies of 3 Liberal terms, policies that the present Prime Minister supported and wants a 4th Liberal term to continue.
Oh, yes.
Pierre.
Canada's paying attention, sir.
Consistently opposed those policies.
Consistently.
Policies that have put costs up, accelerated crime, left our wealth in the ground, and made our economy vulnerable and under America's thumb. And Pierre has, just as importantly, long advocated the positive alternatives for change, to axe those taxes, build homes, bring back jobs, get our resources to the whole world.
Yeah, like, hello. Why be so stingy like this?
And
not even do anything for ourselves.
From a position
stingy, but useless. Come on, Canada. We're better than that.
Friends, I believe that the challenge this country faces today from the United States, as real and serious as it is, should not be another excuse for Liberal failure. Instead, it should be a historic opportunity. That's how we've got to see it. An opportunity to make Canada what it should be.
It's once in a lifetime generation.
United, internationally connected, a truly independent economy with the highest living standards in the world.
Yes, come on. Like, can offer so much.
And with those benefits enjoyed not just by protected elites, but by all the people of this country in every region of this country.
Yeah.
And do bring it home, friends, because that goal, That goal does not depend on Donald Trump. It depends on
us. And Winnipeg has proven it.
But we will only get there with leadership from a person who has an actual policy plan.
Knowledge.
From a person who has been right on all the big issues for a decade. And a person who has the energy and, yes, the youth to take us forward into a better, stronger, and more united future. That person has been my colleague, he is my friend, he is our leader, and he is the next Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Poilievre, and Anna.
Let's go. Yeah. I don't want to get in trouble for this sound, so let me cut it off. Might have to edit it later. Just YouTube is a little very, very iffy about little things like that. And I apologize. But yeah. Wow, look at this rally. Do you think I can have the sound? Let's see. You know what? We're going to put the sound just... If there's anything, we'll edit it after. Get in trouble with YouTube. There he is. So we're gonna do a little bingo card here. I'm gonna fill up the bingo card while we're watching.
Who's ready for change in Canada?
We're ready for change.
Who's ready to axe some taxes? Who's ready to build some homes?
Yes, we are.
Who's ready for some pipelines to make us independent from the Americans?
Oh, yeah.
And who's ready to put Canada first for a change? I think he's ready too. He wants to fight me for the microphone. Wow. He doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay up here. Cruz, c'est quoi ça? C'est quoi ça? He wants to steal my microphone from me. I think he wants, little Cruz wants to be prime minister. He'd be much better than what we have right now, I think.
Oh, would be much better.
But speaking of prime ministers, let's show some gratitude for the greatest prime minister of the 21st century. The Right Honorable Stephen Harper.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Prime Minister, it is an incredible honor to have you here on this stage. It was a little surreal, I have to confess. I remember when I met then economist Stephen Harper a quarter of a century ago, before he was even back in Parliament and running for leader. And then I remember serving with him for all those years as he took us through the tumultuous times of the war in Afghanistan, the great global recession. Always and everywhere, he was solid, competent, honest, decent, down to earth, a man who could, in the words of Kipling, walk with kings but never lose his common touch. He is the greatest
honorable
mentor I could ever ask for.
Oh, indeed. Look at that.
So who is ready
Canada
for
is great.
Canada First government like we had under Stephen Harper?
Oh, we are ready. Edmonton is rocking it.
And to be back in my home province here in Alberta.
Alberta. Beautiful province. Beautiful, beautiful
It's
and
incredible.
rich.
Let's bring it home, my friends.
Bring it home.
Look, this has got to be the biggest political gathering of the 21st century.
Oh, indeed.
It is.
Oh, indeed. Indeed. Spectacular.
I even have my mother and my brother here. Where
What
there they
else
are.
could
My
you
mother's
ask
over there.
for?
My brother Patrick. A lot of good memories from Edmonton. You know, a lot of them are not entirely good because I grew up a Flames fan in the 80s, so it could be very painful. We lost more than one game, both at the Saddle Dome and at McMahon Stadium. But
It
we always used to
happens.
love to come up here to West Edmonton Mall. We only had Chinook Center in Calgary. But my mom and dad would put us in the car. We'd do a little road trip up here and go on the roller coaster and that big ship. And we'd celebrate everything that was great about being alive in this country, that my folks work hard, even though it was hard times. They could afford to take us on little road trips. And they always taught us about the Canadian promise, the promise that hard work would pay off, that anyone who got out of bed in the morning and put in some effort could have a beautiful house on a safe street, protected by brave troops under our proud flag, that anyone from anywhere could do anything. And that's why I got into politics, to reinforce that promise.
I'm filling up the cars, the bingo card, guys. So we got homes, we got pipelines.
And in our time in government with Prime Minister Harper, we did. We left the country richer, stronger, and safer. Let's just take a moment and go back 10 years.
Safer, for
10
sure.
years ago, inflation was rock bottom. So were interest rates. Taxes were falling faster than at any time in our history. The budget was balanced. And crime had fallen by 25% because we locked up the worst criminals and left law-abiding hunters and sport shooters to enjoy their property.
Yeah.
In fact, small towns were so safe, many people didn't even bother to lock their doors.
Nope.
Housing cost half of what it does today. I would know, I was the housing minister at the time. And you could rent the average apartment for under $1,000 a month. Take-home pay had gone up 10% above and beyond inflation and interest rates and taxes. The New York Times had just declared that Canada had the richest middle class in the world.
Wow. And yet,
yes, when this Liberal government first took office, Canada was the richest and safest country anywhere around. We were a beautiful place to live with boundless opportunity. And yet, a decade later, what do we see when we look around us?
A disaster.
Inflation, already having hit a 40-year high, is now once again on the rise. Housing costs have more than doubled after Liberals promised to lower them. Canadian homes now cost 50% more than they do in the United States. And you can actually buy a castle in Sweden for a lower price than a house in Kitchener today. Canada has the second slowest building permits in the OECD. Nothing can get built. We're very hard on entrepreneurs and law-abiding hunters under this Liberal government, but very easy on criminals who shoot up our streets and have doubled gun crime across this country. The economy is shrinking. It is smaller today in per capita terms than it was a decade ago. We have lost $500 billion of net investment flowing out of our country into the welcoming arms of the United States. My friends, this is the lost Liberal decade. And the choice in this election is whether we are going to allow a fourth term of rising costs and crime and a falling economy, or whether it is time for a new conservative government that will put Canada first for a change.
We need a prosper, conservative Canada now.
Après la décennie perdue. Yes, we are going to bring it home.
So much lost, but you know what? We haven't lost anything. It's still here and ours to take.
Après la décennie perdue des libéraux, avec les coûts et la criminalité qui augmentent et l'économie qui est en baisse et sous le contrôle des Américains, le choix est entre un 4e mandat libéral ou bien un nouveau gouvernement qui va mettre le Canada d'abord pour faire changement. Now, the Liberals are trying to pull a fast one. They have a very simple strategy in this election. And here's what it is. Make you forget about the last 10 years. Everything they do will be about bringing collective amnesia of all the damage they've done. The first trick they've tried is replacing Justin Trudeau with his economic advisor and a hand-picked successor, Mark Carney. Now, despite the artificially inflated resume and the more carefully combed hair and the banker's suit, there is no change. It is the same Liberal ministers, same Liberal MPs, same Liberal strategists making the same Liberal promises they have been making for the last 10 years. We know the results. Mark Carney has spent the last 2 months taking for credit for things he did not do, but refusing to take responsibility for the things he actually did. He was Justin Trudeau's economic advisor for the last 5 years, during which time he supported not only keeping the carbon tax, but hiking the tax. He opposed the Northern Gateway Pipeline in testimony before a parliamentary committee. He opposed that pipeline while profiting off of foreign pipelines himself. You know, it is no wonder that Donald Trump says he wants Mark Carney and the Liberals to stay in power, because he knows that as long as the Liberals are there, Canada's economy will be weak and reliant on the Americans. But guess what? Donald Trump doesn't get to choose our next prime minister. Canadians do, and they're going to vote for a change. It's not just Donald Trump that says it would be easier to deal with the Liberals. Today, again, the Chinese government was out campaigning for the Liberals, supporting Mark Carney, just like they did during the leadership race of that party. And who would wonder why? Mr. Carney, while he was economic advisor to Justin Trudeau, actually went to China to get his company a $250 million loan. A loan that his company still owes, and a company in which he continues to be invested. We cannot trust Mark Carney to put our country first. He never has, he never will. We need an end to the long Liberal lost decade. It is time for a change and a new day for Canada.
New day for Canada. Canada first.
We're going to take back control of our economic lives. You know, we've all been chanting, bring it home today. That term, that expression has very real meaning. One, we're going to bring home our production and paychecks from abroad. And two, you are going to bring home more of your hard-earned paycheck.
For sure.
And isn't it great to have Brett Kissel here, the great country music star who sang Our Home. Way to go, Brett. Thank you very much, my friend. Got a message for people?
There we go.
Edmonton and Canada, it's very important to understand the human being that Pierre is. the guy who's become my friend, and somebody who truly believes in the future of Canada and understands that the past 10 years we've had have not been great.
Yeah.
But Pierre is here with all of his colleagues and with all of his heart to make a significant change for a brighter future, something that each and every one of us truly want, not just for us, but for our kids and our grandkids. And Pierre is the guy to do it.
Well, thank you, boss, countryman, country star.
And our Bring It Home plan starts with a big patriotic tax cut on work, investment, energy, and home building. We will lead the charge to reward hard work by cutting income tax by 15% for the average worker and
Income
senior.
tax. 50%.
This tax cut will enable our workers to gain more by putting in an extra hour, earning a bonus, or getting a promotion. It will allow our families to spend more money at our local businesses, giving us a boost at a time when our economy is weak and under attack.
Oh,
And it will
yeah,
ensure
you
that
are under
dollars are
attack,
left
too.
in the hands of the person who earned them instead of in the hands of the politician who taxed them. Bringing it home means favoring the things that are made here at home. And that's why we've announced we will axe the sales tax on all Canadian-made cars. Let's create some jobs for our auto workers in Ontario, too. And then there's the famous carbon tax. Now, remember, up until only a few months ago, the Liberals were telling us that the entire planet was going to be lit on fire if we didn't pay a 61 cent a liter carbon tax at the pumps. They passed that into law, a law that is still in place today. But in order to make you forget about their carbon tax, 28 days before the election, they decided to hide it from the gas pumps. Don't worry. If, God forbid, they are reelected, the tax will be back by May 1st. Remember, the day they took it off at the pump was April 1st, April Fool's Day. But Canadians are not fools. They know that Mark Carney has openly said he wants a higher tax and that he wants it to apply on Canadian industry. That's another thing he and Trump have in common. They both want to tax our industry, Trump with tariffs and Carney with carbon taxes. Well, my friends, with me, there is no doubt. There has been no equivocation my entire career in public service. I will axe the tax for everyone, for everything, for real, for good, forever.
Amazing. Axe the tax. This carbon tax. Carbon scam tax.
And then there's the tax on our investment. Canadian workers only get 55 cents of investment for every dollar an American worker gets. That's why we generate in Canada $50 an hour worked. You take our GDP, divide it by the number of hours we work, it works out to $50 in US. In America, it's $83. So they're making more than 50% above what we make in an hour work. Why is that? We have better workers than they do. Our workers work harder.
Not really.
But they don't get the tools and
hard
technology
workers
because we punish investment in this country. Recently, the Liberals tried to raise the capital gains tax to punish our entrepreneurs. We need to do exactly the opposite. And that is why I have announced the Canada First reinvestment tax cut. Zero capital gains tax when you reinvest your gains in Canada to bring it home. Bring it home.
It's the cabinet tax.
And then there's the worst tax of all, the inflation tax. Now, inflation tax is when the government doesn't want you to know they're taking your money. So instead of passing a law to raise your burden out in the open, They just print more money to fund their irresponsible spending. This floods the economy with cheap cash. So in a 4-year period, while Mark Carney was the economic advisor to Justin Trudeau, the money supply grew from $1.8 trillion to $2.5 trillion, a 40% increase in the amount of bills, coins, and bank deposits, during which time the real economy grew by 4%. So the money grew 10 times faster than the stuff that money buys. If you have an economy with 10 apples and $10, it's $1 an apple. Double the dollars to 20, but still have 10 apples. You're not twice as rich. It's just each apple now costs twice as much. That's inflation. Now, it's great news if you work for Brookfield, right?
Yeah, we don't all
Because
work
that
for Brookfield.
inflation,
Mr.
according
Carney.
to the CEO of Brookfield and best buddy of Mark Carney, that inflation allowed them to raise rent on tenants, allowed their assets to be artificially inflated, allowed them to fill their pockets by sitting on their big assets. Meanwhile, the working class wage and the senior's pension gets chewed up. It's not that things cost more, it's that your money is worth less. It is a transfer of wealth from the have-nots to the have-yachts. And it is the worst kind of tax possible. When I'm Prime Minister, we will cut back on the spending that causes inflation in the first place.
Okay.
We will cut bureaucracy, consultants, handouts to corporate insiders, and we will cut foreign aid to dictators, terrorists, and global bureaucracies to bring our money home.
Wow. Foreign aid.
And we'll bring in a common sense law. My mother is here. She used to have those coupon books. Did you ever have those? Anybody have those? Remember when you used to sell those coupon books? My mother would drive clear across Calgary to go to a restaurant to get beef on a bun that would have a coupon savings on it. She knew how to squeeze every drop of value out of every single dollar. That's what our government should be doing. We should be getting value for money. Now, here's the reason that never happens. Politicians are always spending other people's money. While every other creature in the universe has to live with scarcity, the politician just passes the bill on to you. We will pass a dollar-for-dollar law. It requires we find $1 of savings for every new dollar of spending, forcing politicians and bureaucrats to make trade-offs between this or that, or get a bargain on this and that. Because you've been pinching your pennies long enough, it's time for government in Ottawa to pinch pennies too.
Pinch pennies too already. Everybody's pinching pennies, except Ottawa.
By the way, this was another case of something that Mark Carney got dead wrong. He was asked in 2021, 4 years ago, as a former central banker, are you worried about inflation? He said, no. I'm worried that prices might actually go down. He then said, but he hoped there would be inflation because he thought that would be very good. Well, just like on the carbon tax where Mark Carney was wrong, just like on blocking pipelines where he was wrong, printing money and causing inflation did more damage on every single issue economic of our time. Mark Carney has been wrong. He is wrong in the past and he is wrong for our future.
He is wrong in the past and he is wrong for our future.
And then we're going to tackle housing. We have the most expensive housing in the G7 after the lost Liberal decade. But most of the cost is just bureaucracy and taxes. That is why a Canada First Conservative government will lead the way. We will axe the sales tax on new homes to save you up to $65,000.
Sales tax.
We will incentivize municipalities to speed up permits, free up land, and cut development taxes. We'll sell off 6,000 federal buildings and thousands of acres of federal land to build, build, build. And you know something? It warms my heart to think of the beautiful family rolling up in their U-Haul to move into their wonderful new home in the former headquarters of the CBC.
Yeah. Well, well, well. CBC.
I love you too. I love you. I love you. I love this province. I think it's, we got to talk to a scientist or something, but I swear the sky is actually bigger in Alberta. I think it is.
There's so much mountains. The
But
mountains.
that's why it feels like there's boundless potential in this province, and there is for this whole country. But we have to bring home our jobs to make it happen. And that starts by repealing the No Development Law C-69 to build pipelines, mines, and everything else.
C-69.
Then there's the production cap. Liberals want to cap energy production in Canada.
Yes.
While the Americans, the Venezuelans, the Saudi Arabians, the Russians increasingly dominate the global energy market. They want to push our jobs and production out of Canada. Now, there was some hope that Mark Carney might flip-flop on that, having supported bans on pipelines his entire career over the last 10 years. But he confirmed just last week that if he is re-elected as prime minister, he will keep the anti-development law C-69, he will keep the production cap, and in his words, he will keep 80% of Canada's oil in the ground.
Oh boy, that's not good.
We're going to do precisely the opposite. A common sense, Canada First government will repeal the production cap, remove C-69, and commit to the aim of approving major projects in under 6 months. Bring it home.
Bring it home.
And more than that, we got to do even better. We're actually going to pre-approve permits. So instead of waiting 6 months, imagine this. Imagine if we sit down, we look at a map, and we say, well, this would be a great place to build a nuclear plant. Let's do the research and study. Let's line it up with the First Nations, the municipal governments in the province. Let's publish online all the specs, standards, and safety requirements. And let's pre-issue the permit. In other words, create a shovel-ready zone so that industry can show up and just start building things. What do you think? We have incredible potential. We've got the shortest shipping distances to Asia for our natural gas. It takes 11 days from BC and 20 days from the US Gulf Coast. We've got cold weather that helps liquefy that gas, right?
Yeah.
25% cheaper. It gets cold in Canada. In fact, it was so cold in Ottawa last winter, there were Liberals seen with hands in their own pockets.
They always get caught.
That same cold weather is perfect for data centers. You know, these incredible data centers need electricity. Microsoft, Meta, Google, they are going to have their own nuclear power plants to charge up these data centers. It takes 10 times as much electricity to do a ChatGPT search than it does a Google search. So to power these things up, we have the surplus of energy. We could be using our gas, our nuclear, our hydro, if we could get the permits done. You know, artificial intelligence is all the rage these days. We have lots of artificial intelligence in the government. It's a bit of a different kind, though. But we need to cut red tape, federal red tape, and I will cut it by 25%.
Federal red tape.
And every time a new regulation comes in, we will be required by law to get rid of 2 previous regulations. So the state and the power in Ottawa is always diminishing. We're going to unlock the potential of our Western energy producing provinces. And when I become Prime Minister, the era of Liberals telling the West to pay up and shut up will be over forever.
Shut up. We're not. We're not. Come on. Foreign aid.
But if you want to build things,
I'm filling up
you
the
need people
card.
who know how to build. We need boots, not suits. Do we have any trades workers in the house today?
We got
Got some
trade
trades
workers.
What do we got here? You're waving. What is your trade? What? Yeah, what's your trade? Mechanical insulator. Very important trade. What else do we got here? What do we got? This guy here. Plumber. Yeah, you certainly know when you miss a plumber when you don't have one, right? What do we got over here?
Yep.
A welder?
Welder.
Excellent. Guy joins metals. Give it up for the trades workers. You know, Stephen Harper was in the trades as well. Do you know that? He was a cabinet maker. He had a really good cabinet, way better than the Liberal cabinet. And we're going to have another great cabinet.
Let me tell you, Pierre got jokes. Such a nerd.
A great union leader fighting for the Boilermakers. We have Arnie Stadnik. Thank you for your support, Arnie.
Wow, we got some union supporters here. Ernie.
Thank you very much, Arnie. Are we going to build some nuclear power plants in Canada?
Yes.
Yes.
All day, all week, all year, well into the future.
Right on. Give it up for the Boilermakers. Thank you, Arnie. Now,
We need that nuclear energy.
I think university is great. A white-collar education is excellent. But all of our resources in this country have been favoring one kind of education over another. We need to start to honor the trades. My government is going to put aside the funds to train 350,000 young people to go through apprenticeships, get their journeyman's ticket, and get working building things across this country.
Wow, honoring trade workers.
Boots, not suits.
Boots, not suits.
We will bring back Stephen
don't
Harper's
need anything those
$4,000 apprenticeship grant that the Liberals recently canceled. And I will be giving a big, beautiful present to every high school principal. I know education is provincial, but there's nothing in the Constitution that says a prime minister can't give a present to a principal. It's going to be a box about the size of this stage. In that box will be a module for how to do a pre-apprenticeship for every single licensed trade, so we can get our 14-year-olds training for trades before they even graduate from school. And I need your help, Arnie.
Education.
We're going to need these amazing union training halls to get our young people started, getting them a trade. I tell all young people, get a trade. You will always have a job. And we want you to have that job in a safe neighborhood.
Wow.
And so we are going to stop the crime. We're going to stop the crime.
Well.
Over the last lost Liberal decade, we've seen record chaos explode on our streets. Just moments before I walked on this stage, I met with a lovely young lady, Christina Trang. She's here with us today. Her father was a patriotic, law-abiding, decent man. And one day, he was out for a walk in Chinatown, and he was viciously attacked and killed by a rampant offender who was once again out on bail.
How far are we in? Almost.
That's that same day, that killer actually took a second life. Am I back?
Technical difficulty.
It's a liberal mic.
Okay, I'm gonna have to put jokes because you know what? He kills it. He gets all this stuff in the bingo card. I'm filling it up. I'm gonna call it nerd jokes. Nerd jokes. He's very nerdy.
How we doing, everybody? No, maybe my. We back?
Are we back? We're back here, but not everywhere over there. It looks like.
What do we got? All right.
What did we have? Oh, they did also national anthem. It's coming soon, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just give me a second.
I think, are we back? No, we're not back. We're not back. Come on over, guy. All right. No.
Yeah. Technical difficulties. Bring it home. Bring it home is part of my bingo card right in the center, actually. Yeah, I'm just going to share with you guys here. Let me see the view. Zoom
Check.
in.
Check.
Give you an idea of what it looks like.
We stand on guard for thee.
Whoa.
God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, look at that.
We got a power outage. Power outage.
Certain area. Okay.
Power outage.
There's the bingo card. I just share it a little bit. Okay. Zoom it in a bit.
Can everybody hear me now? There we are.
We're back.
It's a little faint, but we're back. I think it's a miracle. All right, we're back with you.
There.
The power is
So
outage.
far-
There's been a power outage, but all right.
But I'm going to finish it and then.
Well, listen, my friends, we're going to power through this. We're going to power through this. I know that
Let's do this.
this seems like it might be a liberal microphone,
We got
but we're going to power through it because even under difficult circumstances, we need to stand up and speak out and make our voices loud enough even when the microphone doesn't work.
Yes, sir. Even when.
As I was saying earlier,
Thank you.
the cause of this crime wave in this country is the catch and release criminal justice system the Liberals have brought in. With C-75, a law that allows criminals to be released under the earliest conditions and the least onerous restrictions. This has allowed the same 40 offenders to be arrested 40 same 40 offenders to be arrested 6,000 times in the city of Vancouver. This crime is entirely preventable. Christina and her family should still have their wonderful father with them. And that is why I am announcing today that a Canada First Conservative government will repeal the catch and release bail law C-75. There will be jail, not bail.
Jail, not bail.
But we won't stop there. But we won't stop there. My friends, we will not stop there. Then there's the house arrest law, C5, which allows the same repeat violent offenders to serve their sentences in the comfort of their living room. We're talking about car thieves who can sit there playing Grand Theft Auto at their home after they've been caught stealing cars for the 100th time. This liberal law has also been a disaster, and I am announcing today I will repeal it. Our criminals will do their sentences behind bars, and they will stay in jail where they belong.
I got 3 more squares of my bingo card to fill up.
And then there's the drugs. We've been afflicted by a fentanyl crisis that has taken 50,000 of our loved ones. Just recently, I received a letter from a man who told me the touching story about how he held the hand of his wife when she gave birth to their son. And then 25 years later, he held her hand again as a police officer revealed the news on their doorstep that their little boy had died of a drug overdose. The rampant spread of fentanyl has been deadly, and we can stop it. We know how to stop it. We first of all have to treat the mass traffickers and producers of this drug like the murderers that they are, and we will be giving them life sentences behind bars.
Here we are.
It's got to happen.
It's got to happen.
Furthermore, we will shut down drug consumption sites near schools, daycares, and other places with vulnerable people. And we will invest in treatment and recovery, rehabilitation that turns lives around, gets people off the streets, and gives them a chance at a better life. We've lost 50,000 of our loved ones to this scourge. In honor of each and every one of them, we will fund treatment for 50,000 Canadians over the next 4 years. And then there's the guns. Thanks for hanging in there with me, everybody.
Hang on, guys.
Thank you very much, especially you folks up there. You have very powerful eardrums. You were able to hear me the whole time.
3 squares to
Then
fill up.
there's the guns, illegal guns that are pouring in from the United States through the Liberal government's weak management of our border. Only 1% of shipping containers are actually inspected. And that's how the guns are coming in. We're going to scan the containers, hire 2,000 CBSA frontline officers, bring in watchtowers that can scan the horizon of our frontiers to keep crime, drugs, stolen cars, and other illegal substances out of our country. And I'll tell you how we're going to pay for it. We're going to cancel the ridiculous multi-billion-dollar gun grab that targets licensed law-abiding Canadians.
There you go. That's for us. And the other one is for the illegals. And the one's coming across the border.
The Liberals will ban every single hunting rifle in this country. Spread the message far and wide. What are you guys cheering for over there? That's a bad thing. Oh, your speaker came on. Oh, wow. Okay. Now I know if there's a random cheer, what it's all about. I was just complaining about the Liberals. You guys start cheering. I'm like, what the heck? All right. What I was saying is that the Liberals want to ban your hunting rifle. Do you think it's a good idea? Grandpa Joe's hunting rifle is not the problem. I want to protect Canadians from criminals. Liberals want to protect turkeys from hunters. Canadians will have to decide at election time because the choice will be between a fourth term of rising costs and crime and a falling economy under America's thumb, or a new conservative government that will axe taxes, build homes, unleash our resources, and bring home our jobs so we can stand up to the Americans with strength for a change. And strength. Strength means that we must rebuild Canada's military, the Canadian forces. Do we have any veterans here in the house today? Give it up for our veterans. Thank you. Thank you for your service. What an incredible honor. There he is. Look at this fellow here. He has D-Day on. Good to see you, sir. Where did you serve?
In the Canadian Navy in the Second World War and D-Day.
A round of applause, bless you, my friend.
Wow. Second World War, D-Day.
19 at Juno Beach. How old were you at Juno Beach?
I was 19.
19. What a hero. What an incredible
D-Day.
hero. Thank you, sir.
This is a hero. Still among us, walking, wondering.
We have to make this a country that is
what
worthy
happened.
of that hero's sacrifice, don't we? Get him around.
Yes, indeed.
We will honor our veterans. We will ensure that the young and the old have the support they need for a dignified life. We will also rebuild the armed forces, cutting back on bureaucracy, procurement boondoggles, and putting the money into frontline support for our troops. We will reinvest to buy 4 massive Arctic icebreakers. We will double the size of the first patrol of the Arctic Rangers so that we can reclaim our north. We will have the first northern Arctic base in Canada since the Cold War, CFB Iqaluit.
Build up the card.
And as my wife just reminded me, our soldiers, sailors, and airmen will be guided by a warrior culture, not a woke culture. We will expand our cadet corps so that our young people can take mentorship from our military, our veterans, and our rangers, allowing our youth to learn about survivalism, riflery, service, and country. We will unite around common purpose, common values, common history, and our common commitment to the Canadian promise. We will fix the immigration system the Liberals have broken by rejecting the Radical Century Initiative that proposes to triple the population to 100 million. And instead, while we welcome immigrants and we had the best immigration system in the world under Stephen Harper, we want to ensure that never again does our population grow faster than our housing stock, our jobs, and our health care.
We are Are
and
we
when
ready?
immigrants come here with talents and skills, we'll make sure they can put them to the use. We have 20,000 immigrant doctors, 32,000 immigrant nurses, who cannot work in our hospital system. We will create a national Blue Seal system so they can prove they're qualified, get to work, bigger paychecks, reduce wait times. The Canadian promise for them, just like all of us.
Yes, just like all of us.
And we will unite our country around our history. There will be no more tearing down our statues. We will honor our past.
We will honor our past. I could have filled up this more. Oh my God.
Addressing the wrongs of the past is not about tearing down our history.
I think
It
requires
is about
25
building it up.
items.
Let's build new statues to other heroes that have yet to be celebrated. Let's ensure that everyone can be celebrated as part of this great Canadian family. Let's put Terry Fox, the famous 5, and our soldiers back in the passport.
I'm going to put it at the bottom here. I'm not going to skip that one. Here's the bingo extra. Extra. Let's do this.
We will be a self-reliant sovereign people that stands on its own 2 feet
Extra.
and bows before no nation. We will harvest our resources, trade together, build homes for our youth, secure our borders, protect our vulnerable, and stand up as we raise our flag. We are not a nation of tax collectors and toll masters, of bureaucrats and busybodies, of gatekeepers and grandees, of rulers and rule makers.
Oh,
no,
grandees.
we are a nation of artists and adventurers, of entrepreneurs and explorers, of workers and warriors, of pioneers and patriots. What binds us together is the Canadian promise that anyone from anywhere can achieve anything. That if you work hard, you can have a great life in a beautiful home on a safe street under our proud flag. That is the promise that I hold out as hope to those who are on the brink of giving up. If you are one of those today whose bank account and fridge have just both gone empty, my message to you is have hope. Change is on the way.
Have hope. Change is on the way. Look at all these hopeful people.
If you are an auto worker or an energy worker worried about losing your job,
one had tears.
have hope. Change is on the way for you too. If you are addicted to drugs but determined to turn your life around and looking for a place to get help, you are not alone. Have hope. Hang on. Help is on the way for you too.
Help is on the way for you too.
We are going to bind this nation together. A united people committed to our promise and expanding it to all under our proud flag. Canada first. Let's bring it home.
Bring it home. Let's go. There we go. Ah, that was lovely. It's our home. It's our home. Bring it home. All right, I'm going to share the bingo card with you guys. This is such a huge one, too. And we can have a little recap on everything. On my bingo card, here's the view. Let's put it on. Fit to the window. Oh, no, sorry. Oopsie, view. Full screen. Maybe I should zoom it too. Let's zoom it in. Zoom it out. Oh no, zoom it in. Zoom in. And another zoom in. And then a full screen now. Let me see. Is that big enough? I can zoom it up a little bit more. Easier for everybody's eyes. Here we are. Let's share it on a full screen here. So Pierre Poilievre's for Premier 2025 Edmonton, that was amazing. 15,000 people apparently. So covering up homes, axing the taxes for homes, and Bill C-69, all the regulation and not mining and fracking and the pipelines, make it safer, stop the crimes, the gun protection for gun owners and hunters, the inflation tax cut, Canada first, nobody else. And then what else do we have here? Production made in Canada. We're going to do made in Canada. 50% income tax cut to the people's workers. Axing the carbon tax. We have a 0% for the worker tax. And then there's also the cuts, cutting on government spending and foreign aid and other spending that are very unnecessary, and bureaucracy. And then stopping the money printing. Basically, you got to stop carney for the money printing. Even the banks are not happy about this money printing and making our value of the money deflate and be worthless. And then that's what I have in the center. Bring it home. Of course, it's going to have to be in there. Also, we have the drug problems and the fentanyls. We're going to save lives and stop traffickers. All right, and give them harsher punishments and sentences. Also here we have the Western Energy Power to basically push the oil industry and the mining and everything that needs to be done because they are very rich in minerals. Okay, what else do we have here? Hold on. Let me go here. I'm going to have to push this more. Yep. Here we go. Oh, a little bit better. Right at the bottom, we got protecting trades and honoring the trade workers. Not only that, we did speak about nuclear energy and that they're going to build a lot of it. Education support with the trade. So education, he's talking about the education and what he's going to give to these high schools, that big box, so they know how to train the kids in all the trades, not just one or two or three, but in all of the trades. Repealing the bill C-79, jail, not bail, right? He did say they're at home, enjoying their lives, and playing what? Not Fortnite, sorry, Grand Theft Auto. That's the French in me, sorry. Also, we had the national anthem. Everybody was singing, and even Pierre. The border security and the Nordic borders, he did talk about that. I can't believe it. It's just 25 things I covered, or he covered, and I was able to put it on a card. Also, we have the illegal guns from the U.S. borders that's coming in. That is a huge problem, and that is what it's affecting the gun owners, the properly registered gun owners in Canada, and the hunters. And then we also have to rebuild the Canadian military. Well, we had a surprise guest, an extra surprise guest, a World War II D-Day veteran. I'm thinking that man is a good 100, in the 100 right now. He was 18. He could be just a little younger, but probably in the 100. We also got an extra bonus on the card to bring our statues back with Johnny McDonald. Yes, all of this is part of what we're going to bring home to Canada. right? It's very important that we do not lose track of what's going on with this figure called Carney with no substance and a lot of baggage and not a very honest man, but a very greedy man. And it's okay to be greedy in life, but you cannot be a leader of a country if you're thinking about your portfolio every 2 seconds. And especially if this is how you're going to answer to your people, Mr. Sasufi. With that, I would like to leave it right there and wish you all a happy Tuesday, a lovely evening, and I will see you hopefully Friday, which I'm going to switch things back from my Tell All Tuesdays. Alrighty. Signing out, Mademoiselle.